I followed the exact money formula rich people use for 30 days, and my bank account will never look the same again. Most people think the rich are just lucky, but the truth is, they follow a specific formula that nobody is teaching you in school. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll finally understand why some people keep getting richer while others stay stuck, and exactly what you can do about it starting today. Every single day, millions of people wake up, go to work, collect their paycheck, pay their bills, and wonder, why does money always seem to disappear? They work harder, they try to save a little here and there, but at the end of the month, the bank account is nearly empty again. It feels like running on a treadmill, exhausting, endless, and going absolutely nowhere. Now here's what's interesting. The rich don't work harder than you. Many of them actually work fewer hours than the average person. They don't stress about money the way most people do. They sleep well at night. They take holidays. They buy what they want. And somehow, month after month, their wealth keeps growing, almost automatically. So what's the difference? Is it connections? Is it inheritance? Is it just plain luck? I used to believe that too. But when I spent 30 days studying, testing, and actually living by the money formula that wealthy people quietly follow, everything changed. The way I looked at money changed. The way I made decisions changed. And most importantly, my results changed. This isn't theory. This isn't motivational fluff. This is a real, step-by-step formula. And I'm going to break down every single piece of it for you in this video. Before we get into the actual formula, you need to understand one fundamental truth that the rich know and the average person completely ignores. Money is not just currency. Money is a tool. And just like any tool, if you don't know how to use it correctly, it becomes useless, or even worse, it works against you. Think about it this way. A hammer in the hands of a skilled carpenter builds a beautiful house. That same hammer in the hands of someone with no knowledge just breaks things. Money works exactly the same way. Most people treat money as something to be spent. They earn it, they spend it, they wait for more. Rich people treat money as something to be deployed. Every single pound or dollar that enters their account is immediately put to work, assigned a job, given a purpose, and sent out to generate more money. That is the core mindset difference before we even talk about the formula itself. Now here's what shocked me most during my 30-day experiment. The wealthy people I studied weren't necessarily earning 10 times more than the average person, at least not in the beginning. What separated them was not their income. It was their relationship with money. They had rules. They had systems. They had a formula that they followed consistently, whether times were good or bad, whether they felt motivated or not. And that formula has specific steps. It's not random. It's not complicated. But it requires you to unlearn almost everything you've been taught about money since childhood. Because the financial habits most of us grew up watching, spend first, save what's left, is literally the opposite of what the rich actually do. So let's get into the actual formula. And the very first step is something the rich call pay yourself first. Now you've probably heard this phrase before, but I guarantee you, you haven't been applying it the way wealthy people actually do. Most people hear, pay yourself first, and think it means putting 20 pounds or $20 into a savings account at the end of the month. That is not what this means. Not even close. Pay yourself first means the moment any money enters your account, whether it's your salary, a side income, a bonus, anything. The very first transaction that happens is a transfer to your future. Before rent, before groceries, before subscriptions, before anything else. You pay your future self first, and you live on whatever is left. During my 30-day experiment, I set this up on day 1. The moment my income hit my account, an automatic transfer moved a fixed percentage straight into a separate investment account. I didn't think about it. I didn't debate it. It happened automatically, just like how the rich set it up. And here's what happened. I adjusted. Within a week, I was living on the remaining amount without even feeling the difference. Because here's the truth. Humans are incredibly adaptable. We naturally adjust our spending to whatever is available. If you have more, you spend more. If you have less, you find a way to manage. The rich use this human psychology in their favor. They make sure less is available for spending by moving money out first. But pay yourself first is only step one, because saving money alone will never make you rich. That's just the foundation. What the rich do next with that money, that's where the real formula begins. So now that your money is separated, what exactly do the rich do with it? This is where step 2 of the formula comes in. And this step alone is responsible for more wealth creation than anything else in human history. The rich call it making money work while you sleep. The average person trades time for money. You show up, you work 8 hours, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops coming. It's a direct exchange, your time for their money. And the brutal reality of this system is that time is limited. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can only work so many of them, which means your income has a hard ceiling. And that ceiling is defined by how many hours you can physically sell. The rich understood this trap centuries ago, and they made a decision. They would build income streams that did not require their time. Streams that flowed whether they were working, sleeping, traveling, or sitting on a beach doing absolutely nothing. This is called passive income, and it is the backbone of every single wealthy person's financial formula. Now, during my 30 days, I studied exactly which passive income streams the rich actually use. Not the ones people talk about online, but the real ones. And the most powerful one, the one that has built more millionaires than any other, is investing in assets that grow in value over time and generate returns consistently. We're talking about stocks, index funds, real estate, and business equity. Here's what blew my mind. If you invest just £500 or dollars every single month into a simple index fund that returns an average of 8% annually, in 30 years, you will have over £700,000. You didn't work for that money. The formula worked for you. That is exactly what the rich set up. Early, quietly, and consistently. Now here's where most people make a critical mistake. Even the ones who start investing. They invest a little, they watch the market go up and down, they get scared, they pull their money out, and they start all over again. This cycle destroys wealth faster than anything else. And it happens because of one missing piece, step 3 of the formula. The rich never invest blind. Before wealthy people put a single pound or dollar into anything, they educate themselves. Not obsessively, not for years, but enough to understand exactly what they are buying, why they are buying it, and what they expect it to do over time. They treat every investment like a business decision, calculated, researched, and intentional. During my 30 days, I made it a rule to spend just 30 minutes every single day learning about money. Books, documentaries, financial reports, interviews with successful investors. And what I discovered was shocking. The most successful investors in the world follow incredibly simple strategies. Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on the planet, has openly said that simply investing in a low-cost index fund and leaving it alone will beat the majority of professional fund managers over time. Simple, boring, devastatingly effective. But financial education isn't just about investing. It's about understanding taxes, understanding debt, understanding how the system actually works. Because here's a truth that will change everything. The rich don't avoid taxes illegally. They understand the tax system so deeply that they legally pay the least amount possible. They use allowances, accounts, and structures that are available to everyone, but that most people never bother to learn about. Knowledge in the world of money is not just power, it is literally profit. Every hour you spend learning about finance has a direct and measurable return on your bank account. The rich know this. And now, so do you. So far we've covered paying yourself first, making money work while you sleep, and never investing blind. But here's the thing. None of these steps will work long-term if you don't have step 4 locked in. And step 4 is something the rich guard more carefully than any investment, any asset, or any bank account. Step 4 is protecting your wealth. Building wealth is one thing. Keeping it is an entirely different game. And history is full of people who made a fortune and lost everything because they never learned how to protect what they built. lottery winners who are broke within 5 years, athletes who earned millions and retired with nothing, businesses that dominated industries and then collapsed overnight. The pattern is always the same. Wealth was built, but it was never protected. So how do the rich protect their wealth? The first layer of protection is an emergency fund. Before the rich invest aggressively, before they chase big returns, they make absolutely sure they have a financial cushion that covers at least 6 months of living expenses, sitting in a safe, accessible account, untouched. This fund exists for one reason only, so that when life hits unexpectedly, and it always does, they never have to sell their investments at a loss or go into debt to survive. During my 30 days, I realized I had no real emergency fund. Like most people, I had a little bit of savings, but it was mixed in with everything else. No clear boundary, no specific purpose. The first thing I did was separate it completely. A dedicated account, clearly labeled, with a specific target amount. And immediately, my financial anxiety dropped. Because I knew that no matter what happened, I had a safety net. The second layer of protection is insurance. The rich are not reckless. They insure their health, their income, their assets, and their businesses. Because one unexpected medical bill, one lawsuit, one natural disaster without proper coverage can wipe out years of carefully built wealth in a single moment. Now we're getting into the part of the formula that most financial videos never talk about, because it's uncomfortable. It challenges something deeply personal. Step 5 is what I call the rich control their lifestyle. Here's the trap that catches almost everyone who starts earning good money. As your income rises, your spending rises with it. You get a raise, you upgrade your car. You get a bonus, you book a more expensive holiday. You land a better job, you move into a bigger house. This pattern has a name. Economists call it lifestyle inflation. And it is the single biggest reason why people who earn good salaries still end up broke at the end of every month. The rich understand this trap deeply, and they deliberately resist it. Not forever, not by living like monks, but especially in the early years of wealth building, they make a conscious decision to keep their lifestyle modest relative to their income. While their earnings grow, their expenses stay controlled. And that gap, the space between what they earn and what they spend, is where wealth is created. During my 30 days, I tracked every single penny I spent. And what I found was genuinely embarrassing. Subscriptions I had forgotten about. Daily coffee runs that added up to over £60 a month. Impulse purchases I couldn't even remember making. Small leaks, individually meaningless, but collectively draining hundreds of pounds every single month from my account. The rich don't deprive themselves, but they are intentional. Every significant expense is a conscious decision, not an emotional reaction, not a social pressure response, not a habit running on autopilot. They ask one question before spending. Does this purchase move me closer to my goals or further away? That one question alone will save you more money than any budgeting app ever could. We're now at step 6, and this is the step that separates people who become moderately comfortable from people who become genuinely wealthy. This step is something the rich obsess over quietly, consistently, and strategically. Step 6 is the rich build multiple income streams. Here is a statistic that should stop you in your tracks. Research shows that the average millionaire has not one, not two, but at least 7 different income streams. 7. While the average person depends entirely on one, their job. And that single income stream is terrifying when you think about it clearly. One decision from your employer, one economic downturn, one industry disruption, one health crisis, and that single stream dries up completely. Your entire financial life, built on one fragile source. During my 30 days, I mapped out every possible income stream available to an average person, and what I discovered was both exciting and eye-opening. Because most of these streams don't require you to be rich to start. They require time, consistency, and the willingness to start small. The first stream is your active income, your job or primary business. That's the foundation. The second stream is investment income, dividends from stocks, returns from index funds, interest from bonds. The third stream is rental income, and this doesn't always mean buying property. You can rent out a spare room, a parking space, even equipment you already own. The fourth stream is digital income, online courses, ebooks, YouTube channels, affiliate marketing. Content you create once that generates money for years. The fifth stream is freelance or consulting income, monetizing a skill you already have in your spare time. The sixth stream is business income, building a small side business that operates with or without your direct involvement. And the seventh stream is royalty income, from books, music, patents, or licensing. You don't need all seven immediately, but every wealthy person started by adding one extra stream at a time, slowly, steadily, until their income became unshakable. We are almost at the end of the formula, and part 9 brings us to the step that ties everything together. This is the step that the rich consider the most valuable investment they ever make. More valuable than any stock, any property, any business. Step 7 is the rich invest in themselves first. Think about every skill you have right now, every piece of knowledge in your head, every ability that makes you valuable in the marketplace. All of it came from some form of investment. Time spent learning, money spent on education, effort spent practicing. And every single one of those investments has been paying you back ever since. Your earning potential, your career growth, your ability to spot opportunities. All of it is a direct return on the investment you made in yourself. The rich understand this at a level most people never reach. They spend money on books, courses, mentors, coaches, seminars, and experiences, not as a luxury, but as a calculated strategy. Because they know that the fastest way to increase their income is to increase their value. And the fastest way to increase their value is to continuously upgrade their knowledge and their skills. During my 30 days, I committed to reading for 30 minutes every morning before checking my phone. I listened to financial podcasts during my commute. I watched interviews with successful entrepreneurs and investors in the evenings instead of mindless television. And within just 30 days, I had more clarity about money, more confidence in my financial decisions, and more actionable ideas than I had accumulated in the previous 5 years combined. Here is the brutal truth about self-investment that nobody tells you. The gap between where you are financially right now and where you want to be is almost entirely a knowledge gap, not a luck gap, not a connection gap, not an opportunity gap. The people earning 3 times what you earn are not 3 times smarter or 3 times harder working. They simply know things you don't know yet. And knowledge, unlike money, can never be taken away from you. We have covered the entire formula, and now it's time to bring it all together. Because knowing a formula and actually living it are 2 completely different things. And this final step is what truly separates the people who transform their finances from the people who watch videos, feel inspired for a day, and then go back to exactly the same habits tomorrow. The final and most powerful step is the rich take action before they feel ready. Here is the most expensive word in the English language: tomorrow. I'll start investing tomorrow. I'll build that emergency fund tomorrow. I'll learn about finances tomorrow. I'll create that extra income stream tomorrow. Tomorrow has stolen more wealth from more people than any financial crisis, any bad investment, or any economic recession ever could. During my 30 days, the single biggest lesson I learned had nothing to do with money mechanics. It was this: the rich are not perfect. They don't have all the answers before they start. They don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect amount, or the perfect plan. They start with what they have, where they are, with what they know, and they adjust as they go. So here is your formula, complete and clear. Pay yourself first, always. Make your money work while you sleep. Invest consistently. Never invest blind. Keep learning. Protect your wealth. Build your safety net. Control your lifestyle. Close the gap between earning and spending. Build multiple income streams. Never depend on one source. And invest in yourself, because you are your greatest asset. I followed this formula for 30 days. And what changed wasn't just my bank account. What changed was my entire relationship with money. The anxiety disappeared. The confusion disappeared. And for the first time, I felt like I was actually in control of my financial future, not just hoping for the best. You now have the exact same formula the rich use. The only question left is simple. What are you going to do with it?